marking exams all day.
Oh, like a man who's been busy.
I have the pleasure of introducing Andrew Sharp to you, though of course he will need no introduction to many of you. Andrew is the Emeritus Professor in Political Studies at Auckland University, and he is also the Fellow in New Zealand Studies at Birkbeck College. Andrew has been closely involved in the recent revitalisation of New Zealand studies in the United Kingdom, so it's only appropriate that he should be giving this inaugural lecture for us tonight. Andrew has studied history and the history of political thought with a New Zealander, John Pocock, and an Englishman, Peter Laslett. He has done a bit of Maori politics as chairman of the Northern Regional Arts Council and as one of 3 Pakeha on an Anglican committee on a constitution based on bicultural lines, which was 97-98. Andrew knows New Zealand well. He did his undergraduate degree at Canterbury, his PhD completed at Trinity College in Cambridge, and then he became an established figure, of course, in political studies at Auckland University. When Andrew retired very recently, we had a conversation over liquor, as usual, and I suggested to Andrew that maybe it would be appropriate if he could have a festschrift in his honour. His jaw sort of dropped and he sighed and he said he didn't want any such thing because these were living headstones for people who had cultivated a particular kind of persona, their own school, their own following, and Andrew did not regard himself as that kind of a scholar. In fact, Andrew has always been his own kind of scholar. He is breadth, wide-ranging, from the English Civil War, the Levellers and the Ranters, through to contemporary New Zealand. He has published in these fields, and he's edited a collection of essays by Bruce Jesson. So Andrew has been one of New Zealand's most versatile, and in a sense he has been one of our most interesting scholars because he has gone where his interest and his natural sympathy with people and location has taken him. Perhaps the most outstanding landmark in that respect is Justice in the Maori, which has gone to 2 editions. It was first published in 1990. This is a very important book in the history of Aboriginal rights, not only in New Zealand, but in the Anglo-Commonwealth, because Andrew was the first to look at the field with the eye of an historian, to look at all the different debates and the arguments and the wild cast and assortment of characters, and to take all of their arguments and their rhetoric seriously. And that was the beginning of the opening of the field, and he really did give it intellectual credibility, and the book remains highly influential today. Lots of Andrew's other work, in his essays and articles, has been influential. In particular, an essay he's written on juridical history, which has had a great impact in Australia and Canada, where they look at and consider the politics of historiography in terms that Andrew was very important in setting out. So Andrew is not just an important New Zealand scholar, he's been an important international one as well. He is presently working on a biography of Samuel Marsden, much needed. The biography is provisionally called Samuel Marsden and the Prince of Darkness. Now, Andrew typically is aiming to show all sides of Marsden and to get us beyond the myths and the hagiography and the demonology that has surrounded Marsden. So this book will be coming out 800 pages or so sometime in the next 12 months once Andrew has finished it. It'll be very interesting and we look forward to that. Andrew, of course, is a very talented person, though he has hidden some of his talents very well. When he was an undergraduate, I have to tell this story. When he was an undergraduate at Canterbury, he fancied himself as something of an actor. Now, the Shakespeare plays in Canterbury in those days were directed by Niall Marsh. Niall Marsh spotted his talent at this age. He was playing young Mortimer in a production of Henry IV Part 1. She promptly made him her production secretary and suggested that he not try for a career as an actor. The problem, she said, is your face, my dear. As you grow older, you will look like an exhausted teenager. So, on that note, I give you our inexhaustible and eminent Professor Andrew Sharp. Thank
you. Thank you, Paul. I think.